experience 51 years ago with the sun. I was walking across a bridge and a voice spoke to me from above. And it said, look to your right. So I looked to my right and there was a grassy hill down there and the voice said, go to the grassy hill. So I did. I disobeyed. I went to the hill. It said, take your shoes off and lay down on the hill and align your body with the sun. And it said, open your palms, close your eyes, look right at the sun and get as much light in your eyes as you can and begin breathing the light of the sun into your body through your palms and through your eyes. And I would breathe it in on like a long, slow breath of 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then I would hold it for 8. Then I would release the breath on a count of 8 while holding the light inside. So I held the light inside, stored in my body, and released the breath. And I breathed like that for 45 minutes or so, and then the voice said, let the light expand through your body. I was just filled with light, this white light. Then the voice said, let the light expand through your body and become like a cocoon of light. And then keep breathing the light into the cocoon, which is what I did. And then I fell asleep. And I slept for 3 hours. And that light that I breathed into me from the sun had its way with me and brought me a degree of illumination. I sat up and was looking at people walking by, and they were normal looking people about 80 feet away from me walking on a sidewalk. And so I got up and I started following these people. They suddenly changed into transparent forms of energy. They looked like cellophane people. That was basically their energetic bodies, invisible energy. And then they transformed again into a big egg-shaped sack of water just floating along. And it was a transparent looking egg. And in the egg was these pinpoints of light, like 35, 40 stars floating in the water. And then I saw this girl that I knew, and I stopped and I was talking to her, and suddenly I realized I knew everything about her. I knew why she held her cigarette the way she held it. I knew why her hair was cut the way it was cut. I understood why she was wearing the clothes she was wearing. And I'm sitting there talking to her, and suddenly she transforms into pure electricity, an electrical being. And I noticed that there was a panel in this part of her body on the left side. It was like a line, and all the complexes and everything that made her what she was stored right here in this part of the body. And I noticed that the impulses were originating here in this chest area. And they would do this and then shoot up to the mind and the limb, and she could talk, move her arms and stuff like that. But the impulses were coming from here. This was like the control center. So it's the body rather than the mind or the brain. When I had my experience with the sun, 4 hours later from the beginning, the light had its way with me. My consciousness was transformed, and I understood what I didn't understand before. I mean, healing before was like trying to hit a silver dollar somewhere out in space around you, and you had 2 bullets to do it, and you had a blindfold on. That's what healing is like. Unless you have like the precision connection and can reach exactly but it's a near impossibility. That's why people have such little results. But when boom, illumination happens and everything is so bright that you see every last detail, then there's a difference. Then you can say, okay, here it is, we get rid of that, okay, you're well. Just like that. When I had my experience with the light said you have to go into silence for 23 years because the light told me it's dangerous to talk about this. You can't talk about it. So I went into silence for 25 years. And only after 25 years, because people were asking me to speak, did I start speaking, and I still didn't speak much. I don't speak much now. But 25 years, I didn't have nobody to talk to. And I still, y'all are the only people hardly that I talk to. Because it's It's mind-boggling. Even the greatest scientists on earth, they have no idea.